All right, team, very fortunate here to be joined by Mercedes Schlapp. She is a senior advisor of the Trump campaign. You see her on Fox and across all media outlets all the time. Mercedes, thanks for making the time.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm actually live from the Women for Trump bus. It's a big pink bus going through Pennsylvania. We've had several stops here in near Pittsburgh, and it's been a very enthusiastic crowd ready to win and come November.
Tell us about this ready for Women for Trump, rather. This whole campaign. Who's a part of it? What's the next itinerary, and what are you telling the ladies out there? Because we all know that particularly suburban women voters are a very coveted demographic in this upcoming battle.
Well, I think one of the phenomenons that we have found when we've been on the road for so much, and we've been on this bus, it's been going for close to over 100 days, has been the incredible response from women who are leading many of these field offices, women who are making phone calls, knocking on doors, basically saying we have to get President Trump reelected, very concerned about the direction that the Democrats have taken, where they really have abandoned any sort of moderate policies, moved to the far left on so many of the issues. And we really spend a lot of time talking to these women and in the Get Out the Vote effort. So today on the bus, I'm with Katrina Pearson, another senior advisor in the campaign, one of the originals for 2016. Laura Trump is joining us as well. And, I just got to tell you, we feel very strongly that it's important to be in contact with these voters, let them know that the president is incredibly grateful for the work that they're doing. And obviously during this time that we know that the president has been fighting for us, fighting for America, and it's our turn to fight for him, get him to the finish line, and continue to really expose the far left agenda of Kamala and Joe Biden, which we know even yesterday in the vice presidential debate, Kamala couldn't even answer basic questions like, will they pack the court? You could see a little bubble over her head saying, well, of course we're going to pack the court, but they're not willing to be transparent and honest with the American people.
Speaking of Mercedes Schlapp, senior advisor for the Trump campaign, she's out on the road trying to make things happen so that Trump gets 4 more years. Mercedes, specifically from the women voters that you're talking to out there, and especially in these swing states where everyone's going to have such a focus for the next few weeks here as we get into the final stretch, what are the biggest things that they're wanting to ask about, and what's the top of their list of concerns right now? I mean, I know it's going to be one of the things but I want to know from what you're hearing, what are they putting at number 1, number 2?
I would say number 1 and number 2 are clearly the economy and ensuring that we're able to build a strong economy, a robust economy. And they've seen President Trump do it once, and they know he's going to do it again. And we've seen, obviously, a lot of progress in that area. In the recent jobs numbers, where we've created over 11 million jobs in the last 4 months. And so the other piece of this, I would say, is safe communities. It's this idea that we've seen a lot of chaos on the streets, and the fact that the president has made it very clear that law and order is a priority, and that we're able to ensure that we don't move forward on defunding the police, that we hone in on community policing, community safety, and that's also another priority. And of course, COVID is on the minds of so many of these women voters. It has been exhausting to raise children during this time, to make ends meet during this time of dealing with the global pandemic. And this idea that Joe Biden really has no plan, as Vice President Mike Pence said yesterday, they're literally plagiarizing what President Trump and the Vice President have already offered and what the plans that we have put in place. And what's so shocking to me is the fact that, I know the Democrats want to use coronavirus, as, Jane Fonda said, that this is a God's gift to the Democrats and politicize this whole issue. That's disgraceful. We're in a global pandemic. The president is fighting hard to make sure that we're able to develop the vaccines, to get the therapeutics to market, so that the American people who are inflicted with coronavirus can get better and get healthy. And the other piece of this is that we can't be in lockdown indefinitely. It is really causing a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety for our youth, for our families. We need to be able to reopen our economies and our schools safely and responsibly. And that's what the president is focused on, to ensuring that we can move in that direction, as opposed to Joe Biden, which wants to, and some of the media that want to make sure that we all live in fear.
Mercedes, what are we expecting now for the next presidential debate? As of today, we've heard the Biden campaign wants it to be a virtual debate, and the Trump campaign, as of the latest reporting I've seen, says, "Oh, there's not going to be a virtual debate." What can you tell us?
Well, what was shocking was that I call them the Communist Commission of Presidential Debates. I mean, they've got like never Trumpers on there. And one of the things that what I'm finding with them is that they literally made this unilateral decision on moving forward with a virtual debate without even talking to the campaigns about it. Just think about that. And that's what's so disturbing, is the fact that they're looking to protect Joe Biden. They know that the president had a very strong night. They know that Mike Pence won the debate yesterday. And so at this point, it just seems that they have no interest in ensuring that this conversation, and this important conversation, happens between the two presidents, between the two candidates, I should say. And so I think it's important to really understand that this was a unilateral decision made by the commission. They did not discuss it with the campaigns, and that is incredibly problematic. So we're hoping, and what we're looking to do is to move the debate a week later, have the two debates, one October 22nd, the next October 29th, and let's have that discussion where the American people can see these two men in person being able to, describe what their visions are for America. And that is, I think, what the goal is at this time.
Mercedes Schlapp, senior advisor for the Trump campaign, out there on the trail, on the bus, doing the work. Mercedes, thanks so much for joining us. Good luck to you. Hey, Team Buck, thank you so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you like this video, please click that little thumbs up button so then it will log as liked. And also, if you want to see more great content from The First, please click subscribe.